We invite you to listen to the following discussion by Supreme Master Ching Hai with association members in Shihu, Formosa on February 19th, 1996, entitled, The More Sincere We Are Devoted to God, the Less Desire We Possess.
There was a master. So now, I went preaching in a town, very big town. And then somebody came and listened to him. But there was a true story about preaching, I'll tell you later. And so at first somebody came and listened to him. Or her, not sure what that is. And then lately, gradually everybody dropped out and nobody came anymore. And finally there's not half of a soul stay where he preached. But nevertheless, he stood on the platform, continue, blah, 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 alone. And then sometimes he just shouting on the street or something like that. So a passerby came next to him and asked him, "What's the matter with you? Why are you still shouting? Nobody is here listening to you anymore." So the preacher, the master, just say to him, "Well, I know. First I want to preach to the people because I hope to change their way of life. But now I am preaching loudly just to make sure that they don't try to change me." All right. There is a hermit who lives in a hermitage. And he has only books in his house. And only a cushion to meditate. And a sleeping bag to cover in winter. And a Guan cloth. A loving head. And a kanbei, the cup, steel cup. And a spoon. And a chopstick. And what else do you need? And ID card. Initiation ID card. So actually it sounds like he has a lot. But when you count, he has absolutely nothing. A house with books, Qinghai Wu Shangshi Suma Tzu's books, and poetry, MTV, I Will Forever Love You, something like that. And then nothing else. No chair, no bed, no table, no kitchen. Just very few necessary for living things. So there is a, guest, passerby come in and visited him, and see in his room are all bare of necessities, asking him, "But how do you live like this? Where are your furnitures?" So the Guan practitioners asked the guest, "Where are yours?" So the guest said, "But I am only a visitor here." And the Guan practitioner said, "Me too." That is because we are all visitors in this planet. We are all passing by. We are passerby. We are all tourists in this wonderland. And one day we will have to go home, and nobody can stay forever, and everybody knows that. But including myself, I think I will live forever. We will have this illusionary dream about eternity. In fact, the body cannot endure eternity because the body is made of those perishable material. So one day it will perish. But life continues forever. Doesn't matter where and how. So make sure we remember this, or else after we die we'll find out too late. Now it's not late for you because you already know the secret of eternal life. Without this secret, no one can ever walk over the threshold of life and death and be free. And that is the wisdom since the ancient time. No one can change that. Just like the cloud, no one can change it. Just like the water is the way it is, no one can change it. So there is the law of crossing birth and death. That is the Kuan Yin method. And if we don't know that, too bad. Nobody can help us. That is the only secret and the most important secret that every being should know. But sadly, most of beings don't know. That's why the world is suffering like it is, and continues so since times immemorial. And that's why the Master and the messenger of the truth of God, we always have to come here again and again in order to suffer with them and then to lead them back to where they should belong, and lead them back to their house, to their original places where they can be safe and happy forever. There was a man who meditated very diligently. And then, as you were aware of the meditator, sometimes they just go off somewhere without, even thinking about it. And then in that state of dreaming and waking and non-dreaming and non-waking, and between waking and dreaming and all that big stuff, in between big consciousness and small consciousness, and then he saw the angel appear to him and said to him, "I'm the Archangel Michael." He was a kind of drifting between big consciousness and waking dreaming and non-waking dreaming state, all these big Buddhist words. And then he opened his eyes and said, "What? Angel? Who?" Angel. Okay, angel. And then the angel repeated again, saying, "I'm the Archangel Gabriel, for example. I've been sent to you to deliver some very important message, because you have a big mission in life to deliver all sentient beings." Sentient beings? Black beasts. So now the meditator was back out of samadhi. What did you say? So the angel repeated again that he has been sent to him because he's virtuous and he has a mission for God and blah 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 blah. So, but the meditator said to the angel, "Oh, I think you are mistaken. I am not virtuous. I'm not that holy. I think I don't deserve an angel being sent to me. So go look elsewhere." As soon as he realized that, the angel disappeared. Now test your IQ. Why? Why? Just why? W-H-Y? Don't know. Good. That's just what I expected from you. Because there wasn't a real angel. Now then, you know everything. It was the devil. His Majesty the devil himself, who came and tested him. Luckily, the meditator has strong enough willpower, humility, and self-knowledge, and no greed for fame, praises, and acknowledgement. Doesn't matter from where. So we, the meditator, should remember this. As soon as we desire for quick profit, fast enlightenment, complete 100%, like a whole pizza on a plate, and we hurry, then we might fall into the trap of the devil. Because, as I told you sometimes, or during the time of initiation, the king of Mara, the king of illusion, or the devil himself, can anytime manifest exactly like a Buddha, or a devil, or an angel, or God, or any past, present, and future saint, in order to mislead the sincere, the less vigilant, the less careful practitioner. And in the Buddhist Sutra, it mentions also the many 50 kind of traps that the devil often used to lead him astray. There's no need to know many things about devil even, but just keep yourself pure, sincere, honest with yourself. Then you will never be in any trap, in any trouble, and no one can ever trick you, not even the king of devil himself. Should we desire for fame, profit, and high position, even in the spiritual hierarchy, then we often will fall into the trap of the negative force, because that's just what they wait for us to be caught off guard, and then they will brainwash us into belief that we are already became a Buddha, that we are great, that we have mission, that we this and that and others. And then we became proud. We will be trapped into the field of pride, of false pride, of arrogance, and then we're finished. Yes, maybe we could come back again to the humility and to continue the practice as before, but it might be very difficult then. We might be led too far away, and then to come back takes a long time, and we waste a lot of our effort and time. So as a practitioner, we cannot afford to be careless, to be proud of our practice, or to want a quick spiritual position in the spiritual world. Many people just have a few vision. I meditate just a little bit, and don't keep the precepts even very well, and vegetarian diet is so-so. I just have a few misled vision, and they believe that they became master or Buddha and things like that. You can become what you wish to become. You can boast of your achievement, but the fruit will speak of themselves. And then at that time, sometimes it ruins our life. We ruin ourselves, and then it's very late to be able to go back to where we have been before. So humility is very important in spiritual practice. We must be humble within ourselves. Not that we act humble only. Sometimes people, they don't act very humbly, but inside they're very humble. Some people, they play, a humble one, but in fact inside they are very, very arrogant. Sometimes the outward appearance mislead people. Mostly we, the Kuan Yin practitioners, if we reach a spiritual height enough, reach a spiritual height, enough height, then we can sense the other person, what he is inside, or what she is inside, not the appearance. Sometimes if we practice her further and further, sometimes a person came next to us, near to us, not come to our face yet. We did not even see who that person is. We immediately know who that is. Did you experience that sometimes? You do, huh? You can sense the person's aura and energy, and you know that person. Of course not a stranger, because when it's a stranger, then you don't know who that is, of course. But if you have many friends or family members around you, and whoever comes to your door, before you see him or her, you already know that person that is coming. And it will be so. Not that you see him or hear him or anything. When you know that person coming, and immediately he comes, in a few minutes, then he appears in front of you then. And then you know that you were right. Because all your sense of psychic ability, physical sense and spiritual sense will be sharpened and sharpened and sharpened very, very much after some times of spiritual practice. Not only Kuan Yin method practice, but any other kind of practice will sometimes also offer this kind of clairvoyance or clairaudience or psychic ability. But this is no big deal. It's no big deal. These are just some of the small psychic ability which is latent within ourselves. I mention this because we should be always careful. We think that nobody knows what we know inside, what we think inside, or what we do in the dark, but people can feel. Okay, now by the way, that's why when you meditate, or you always have to carry a note in your pocket with a pen, yeah? Because when you meditate, the ideas come, or the answer come to you. During the daytime, when you're very, very busy, sometimes you have no inward attention to catch the ideas or the answers to some of your immediate problem. But when you meditate, when everything comes down, and the ideas will appear very clearly, maybe in a vision in front of your wisdom eye, or maybe in your head, yeah, very clear, the answer to your question or to your problem. Actually, you have no need to ask me any question. You just ask inside, and then the master inside answer you immediately. All you need is the attention. Attention inside, yeah? Hear what the inner voice of God tell you what to do. And that is what we say, listening to the will of God and doing the will of God. During meditation, most of the time, the answer comes very clearly, or the idea to do something very strongly. So you have to note it down, otherwise later you forget. You forget very quickly, because we have a lot of things to do in life. We can't just hang on to one idea, one moment, or one question. So you have to always continue. So I have to note it down. So sometimes I have a lot of notes, because I have a lot to do. If I don't write down right now, later another thing to do, I will forget the last one that I have not finished. So you see, I'm also a very good secretary. Yeah, I do everything. But the only trouble is that I'm also very busy. And then so if I don't take care, then nobody else does. So sometimes in the middle of the night, during meditation, I have to wake up, get out of the cold, get the pen, the paper, and write out the things that I just remember, or I have to do tomorrow or the next day, or the solution to some of the problems, or to the solution to some of the other people's problems, or the answer to some of their questions. And when I'm too busy to think about it in other time. It comes always in meditation. So remember, take your notes with you. Sometimes you write out your vision, so that you don't forget. Sometimes you write out what is the solution for some of the problem, so that you know how to deal with your business and things like that. It's very useful. Okay. I really... See? If it is a true note? No. You see that? So I really couldn't find out the thing that I wanted to speak to you. I have forgotten completely. No. That's it. Okay? The more we meditate, the less question we have. The more sincere we are devoted to God, the less desire we possess. The more we meditate, the more contentment we will derive. And we feel life is just perfect, whatever it is. There was a man, long time, meditator, and he was very poor. Well, we don't have to be rich to become a Buddha, no? Huh? As you know, Jesus was the son of the carpenter, right? Even though Buddha was the prince of a kingdom. Many masters of old have been in an ordinary class of people. Not every master has been born high class or noble. That has nothing to do with the inner attainment. Black, white, yellow, red, all the same. It's the stuff inside. Just like, have you seen the balloon? The helium balloon? The balloon with helium air inside? It flies up to the sky very high, right? Did you see all their colors? Black, blue, white, red, yellow, violet, etc., etc. All of the colors different outside. But the helium inside is the same. Yes, it's just lighter than air, So as long as they fill inside with the helium air, the balloon will fly up. Doesn't matter what kind of color outside. So similarly, doesn't matter what kind of color of our skin, or our background, or our family lineage, as long as we possess the wisdom, we are wise, and we are the Buddha. And all of us possess the wisdom. It's just a pity that many people don't know how to find it. And because it is so easy to find it, everybody look down upon this method. That's why just a bunch of you come here and study with me. And not the whole world. But never mind, you know very well. In a classroom, only one or two are distinguished. Right? I told you already, and you know very well, Yeah. So, it's not possible that all the whole world will follow us. Nevertheless, they will in their own time. In the future, when other Buddhas come, other masters come, they will follow. Because this is the only way to go home. They can't go anywhere. If they go anywhere, they have to come back to this place. There's nowhere to go. No other place to do. No other place to go, no other method to try. So that doesn't matter what, they just have to come back and try this method. And then they just go, like us. Because it's so simple. It's just so near to you. It's inside you. So nobody believes it. It's so simple like this. After you study Quán Hình method, you think it's simple or not? Yes, So simple, Enlightenment is very near, So near, It's there all the time. It's there all the time. Just have to tell you. And then, just like the notes at, when I first came in, it's in here in my pocket. But I look for it everywhere. And even blame somebody else losing it for me. Actually, it's here. It's me who put it in my pocket. But I was in a hurry to come down. And then I forgot about it. You see that? So enlightenment is always there. That's why the master don't charge for enlightenment. Because it belongs to everybody. It's their own property. I told you already the story about people who want to sell the kittens. Or who want to give away the kittens. That cat have born about 5 kittens. And they want to give it away to the people in the village. Nobody wanted to have it. And then they announced on the radio that they will sell it for 20 apiece. And in the morning everybody come and everything sold. All the 5. In a few minutes. Yes, this is funny word. That is why not many people can believe how simple it is to get enlightenment. And it is already there. And they cannot believe it. That just like that, they became enlightened and liberated forever. And even all the people around will benefit from this supreme wisdom and method. It's a pity because it's so simple. It is so simple that people take it for granted. But this is a way of human nature. Even disease can be spread. Bad news can be spread. So why not good news? Why not enlightenment? So work hard to save other people. during the ancient times, many of the meditation group, they get together like that. Huh? They get together and they practice together maybe in one village or one island, then it became a country. I heard that somewhere near Greece or Italy there was an island where only monks are there practicing. I don't know what they practice, but they don't allow any women to come in. Even female dogs are not allowed. Yeah. It's for sure. True, it's true. Yeah. It exists over the 4,000 years already. Yeah, and I don't know how they continue if there's no woman there. How can they continue to live? Huh? No birth, no death, perhaps. Yes, we can stay together. We can leave everything, actually, except our conception. It's very difficult to leave our fixed and rooted conception. There's many people who keep searching for Master here and there and everywhere, but they can never find. Because they expect the Master to be this and that and others. And if the Master doesn't fit their quotation, their frame of preconceived notion about what a Master should be, then they just leave. Doesn't matter what the Master teach. We never appeal to them because they just look at the outside and then finished. And then they decide right there and then that the Master is not. There was a very well-known story about the devil who always tempt any truth seeker and make him give up his spiritual quest, give up his determination to find the truth. So the more earnest the seeker is, the more determined the devil try to get hold of him and keep him there. There was a truth seeker. He went all over places to seek for Master. So one day he heard that there is a place where there is a Master and he is truly good and things like that. So he climbed over many mountains and swim over many great rivers and endure a lot of hardship to go in search for this Master. And in doing that, it takes him a lot of time. In ancient times, it takes even more time than now. Not just 10 hours from America or, 24 hours from Europe, but takes longer than that. And then he left everything at home. His wife, his possession, his business, and his fame, and his reputation, and his children, everything. Anything. He forsake absolutely everything. He just took enough provision with him on the road, that's all. He became practically like a beggar in that stage, in search for truth, because he was so thirsty for the knowledge of the kingdom of God. So he endured a lot of hardship and forsook everything to go and find his Master. And just before he reached the Master's house, the devil came in front of him. And he tried to offer his spiritual seeker everything. More money, more wealth, more fame, more reputation, beautiful women, and anything that he wants. All kind of offering just come to him by the devil's power. But this spiritual seeker was already very experienced in this matter. And besides, he already had everything before. There's nothing that he lacked before in his life. Not much. He was wealthy, well-known, and happy, and happily married, and he had everything that a man could wish for. So it doesn't appeal to him, all these things. So he did not get trapped into the tricks of the devil. So he walked right through his head and came into the master. So that was the end of his journey, and he found the master sitting there, to his longing heart. It's okay, and then he sat there. But the first thing he noticed about master is that how come he sit on a very high chair, covered with yellow cloth and something like that. Very well prepared and soft cushion and for him, in front of him there are 2 glasses of water and there's even a red umbrella and there's a mirror and a watch and a clock and even a wet towel and everything. And all the disciples sit on the ground at the feet of the master, So he was thinking in his head, well, this guy certainly has not enough humility that is required of a saint. That's the first thing he think. All right, no, not much. So but nevertheless, he already came in, so he sat and further. I think not to listen to this discourse, but just to observe what the master looked like, what he does. So he continued to look with his eyes, from up to down, from left to right. And he noticed a lot of ham is sticking around the waist of the master. He must eat a lot of vegetarian ham, since science has been progressed. The people make vegetarian ham very tasty, so probably he ate too much of that. The evidence is around his waist. Especially when he put on some kind of sportive clothes, which is very tight. So anyhow, so he continued to look, and it was something funny about the way the master wear clothes, It's expensive and good looking, It doesn't look like a renunciated person, A spiritual person supposed to forsake everything, and live a very ascetic life. Yeah, humble and frugal and simple life. But this master has no of such qualification up to now, up to nothing. Yes, and then besides, the master doesn't know that such a great spiritual truth seeker had just come and sit beside him. It looked like he doesn't notice him at all. Yes, and him, the great one who came from 1,000 miles away. Enduring a lot of hardship and crossed many rivers and oceans and mountains, forsaking everything just to come here. And look like the master don't know anything about him. He looks around somewhere in the ceiling or somebody else's in the crowd. He didn't notice that great spiritual seeker. So now then, that is the time. So he was sitting there, with all this turbulence in his mind. And then he think, oh, he can't bear no more. He walked out. And at that time, the devil who was sitting somewhere also, following him to come in now, also stood up and stepped out with him. So the master say, goodbye, you too. You belong to each other anyhow. So that's the problem with many people. We can leave a lot of things. We can leave wife, husband, perhaps the dearest thing in our life, like materials, comfort, possession, position, reputation, and everything that most of the people cling to, we may be able to renounce. But the most difficult thing to renounce is the ego. And the ego is made up of many ideas about what I should be and what the other should be according to my opinion. And that's where we're stuck. And that's where so many people walk in a worldly, mundane life and don't walk inside the spiritual path. But this is the way it is. This is the way God, or the Creator, made this world, so that it still exists like this. If it was so easy for everyone to follow a spiritual master and became liberated in one lifetime, then the physical world never exists. And the king of illusion, the Maya, have nothing to do. He will be fired. That's why he has obtained a promise from God that he can do all kind of tricks, all kind of magic to weave the tapestry of this physical existence into such a beautiful piece of art that everyone will be mesmerized, will be lost into looking at it, and very difficult to turn their attention elsewhere. The king of the devil, before he became king of the devil or king of illusion, he has also practiced spiritual practice, a different kind. Well, he does all kind of austerities in order to obtain some boons from God. You see, that is the difference between a real spiritual practitioner and one who practices for a purpose. That's why when we practice any kind of spiritual practice, we can also obtain something, according to what we wish. Like we can concentrate our mind, we can read other people's thought, we can see through solid objects, we can know what's happening from very, 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 very far away. But that's all we have. And the supreme knowledge is reserved only for those who practice the Guanyin method. I just cannot explain to you why. It's just the law, it's just the way it is. It's just everything has its order, everything has its place in the universe. So Guanyin method is only for those who search the truth, and the truth alone, nothing else. And magical power and universal power and all kind of others privilege in a spiritual field will be granted to those who seek them. It's just like if you come into the king and the king asks you to take any treasure from him if you want, okay, and then you get lost in diamond, rubies, antiquities, and his chairs or his table and things like that. But only one woman who wants the king alone, and then she's the one who has everything too. Except that instead of those who want only part of the king's treasure, she wants the king. And then she also will have everything. The whole kingdom belongs to her, including the king. So that is the clever one. That is the Guanyin practitioner's position. So this is it is. You see what I mean? So it's there are many people who practice, but very difficult to find the real one who truly practice just to gain the supreme knowledge. And that is why the other day I told you about monkhood. It's not many people can leave the places where they used to, and the people they befriended with, and the surrounding that they are so accustomed to living in. It's just like that. It's just like that many people transmigrate again and again back into this world, because at the time of death they desire nothing else but to continue to do what they have left behind, to continue to live further and make more money, or make more friends, or have more wives, or whatever it is. And whatever you desire at the time of death, you will get. After you finish the death sentence, you come back again. It's very difficult to live what we are used to. There was a story about a saint, a person who went in search for a stone which turns everything into gold. You know, they call it touchstone, something like that. Is that right? Okay. There's a kind of touchstone pepper, maybe. Supposed to be in the story. And if you found that touchstone and you touch everything with that touchstone, and everything will become gold. So there was a person who heard from a secret map, who has from somebody, and then he has obtained the secret map of where the pepper will be. And then so he went over there and searched for the pepper. And on the beach there were billions of pepper, like that. They look alike like every other pepper, except when you touch that real pepper, touchstone, it is warm, and the other stone is cold. Every day he looked for one pepper, and when it's cold he throw it into the sea, so that he don't have to have mistake to pick the same one again. So he was very patient. Every day pick a lot of pepper and feel it, and when it's cold he throw it into the sea, and keep throwing that day after day, until one day he found one pepper that's very warm to the touch. But habitually he throw it also into the sea. That is the force of karma. Karma means habit. Whatever we keep doing again and again and again, and it bears the consequence. And then we are forced to do it again and again and again. That is what is called karma. That's why people transmigrate all the time. And even though you know that your car belongs to the credit card company, maybe American Express, something like that, and your house, half of your house or 2/3 of your house belong to the bank, but still you think it's yours. Anytime they can take it away if you don't have a job to pay for it. So you see, even though we know that all those things are very, very impermanent, and even our own life don't belong to us. If our life were to belong to us, then we can always keep it, no? But we can't. Any moment it will be taken away from us without warning, without asking, without any permission from us at all. They don't know when is life taken from them. They don't even know when is their dearest wife or husband, children and all that will be taken from them, sometimes taken together even. So that is the fate of the pitiful human beings in this world, and all other sentient beings as well. People don't know when they die. So even our life don't belong to us. But nevertheless, every one of us cling to all these impermanent things and stop ourselves from many adventures. For example, sometimes we want to do this and do that, and we want to go here, go there. But just because we are so attached to our environment and surrounding that we have no courage to start new things or to do something more exciting to our life. Instead, we just go day in, day out, in the highway and out of the highway, in the car and out of the house, things like that, day in, day out like this, from the day we're born till the day we die. Yeah, sometimes life very boring for us, but we have no courage to change it, no initiative to alter the pattern of our boring existence, just because we are too accustomed to live in the way we do, to stay where we live, and to have the people that used to be around us. We can't leave them. We can't leave all these things. We feel like we're missing something if we don't stay with them, or if we don't stay there. That is the lot of most of the sentient beings, and that's the reason why they keep reincarnate again and again.